in the shop early this morning. I wanted to show you guys what the team has been working on in the shop here for our Easton kitchen. We got our cabinets. This is actually going to be part of our appliance wall, and what you're looking at here is painted face frames and then internal face frames that will have pocket doors on either side. So essentially these will be, let me start here, coffee maker. This will be your coffee station, probably a toaster, some shelving above, basically your morning start, but giving you the opportunity to kind of work in these. And they look really good because they have an internal face frame, but when they're closed up, you'll never know. You'll have kind of equal 3 cabinets, and then we get into our refrigerator, freezer columns, and a pantry storage at the very end. But this is what I want to show you guys. We talk about this a lot on our feed, and if you follow Ken on Instagram, you probably have seen this, but what we have going on here is we have this Walnut Island, and all of this is grain matched. And let me show you what I mean by that. Let me flip around here. If you zoom in, this door style, then you have your face frame style, and then your next door style. That is all one piece of walnut. You can see the grain flowing all the way through it. Furthermore, you also have this continuous face frame here on the bottom that picks up door rail, door rail, door rail, door rail, door rail. So this takes an incredible amount of forethought, and it's all the way through. Like every single piece is like this. And when it all comes together, it looks really cool because you don't get these wild color variations between, you know, rail and style or style against style. Everything matches up and has this really kind of carved out look, I like to say. And even more so is that we have, this is one face, and then it's going to turn and there'll be a panel on the end, and this is the style for that. So this will get mitered and then rotated, so when you look at the corner, that grain wraps all the way around. Really cool. Another thing we do is all of our MDF panels, we actually pre-paint the edges, so should there ever be any movement in these panels, we don't have a raw MDF edge. You can actually see it over here. These are actually 2 mistakes. So you saw those are black, those are going to be black doors. We also have white in this home, and you can see the paint sticking through. So what will happen, like I said, these are mistakes. The rail is a little too large on these, so we changed it. But now that that's painted and this is together, what we would be doing is then going back and sanding really tight to the edge. So when we go to finish these, there'll be a small bead of paintable caulking in here. This is the back side, and then as well as the front side. And that's basically encapsulating that panel. The panel is installed with space balls or pieces of rubber, so this panel can kind of move around. If you guys haven't seen our last video on how to build doors, we dig into that a lot, or even the Vanity Build Crafted series, we dig into that. So that's how this panel floats, so that's why we caulk it, but we also want that paint in there, so if anything ever does move, you don't have a raw MDF edge. So that's exactly what you see going on here. All of these are pre-painted, and these will get installed. You can actually see, let me swing over here. Here's another one coming together. This is the backside actually of that island, which will have additional panels. So this actually, the backside of this island, these aren't doors, but we're manufacturing them just like doors, and these would just actually be fixed panels. But you can see Ian's been cranking away at cutting all his relevant styles for the doors. Everything gets labeled, so everything gets labeled all the way through. I'm not gonna mess this up too much, You can kind of see that's our profile. So you have your tongue that will go into your rabbet. I'm flipping around here. Oh, upside down. And furthermore, we'll actually domino, put a domino in here. So even though we got a ton of glue area all the way through, we're gonna have a floating tenon, which we use the festool domino for extra strength. A lot of people say it's overkill. I just don't care. That's what we do. So square edge, shaker, beaded detail, really cool looking. You can see it here in the walnut. This is for our kitchen. It will be black in the main kitchen and then white in the secondary pantry kitchen. You see our boxes are all assembled. A couple things we do here. We use primarily dominoes for alignment, and then we'll use the lamello to hold the face frame on. You can see here, looks like we padded these up. I'm thinking it was probably maybe a slight oversight here with this additional piece. Usually it's just two pieces, and the reason we have this one with a slide tight against it is because we want this to stop the drawer front from going too far in, having like a nice positive stop. And the reason we don't just move this one up is because we want this one to line up with the bottom of our face frame. So when our face frame gets attached, you're actually going to be covering probably about that much. And the reason we don't want our face frame hanging below this is if they have a pot, or say up here they have spatulas or something and they go to pull the drawer out, we don't want it catching the backside of that that face frame. So if you have a pot in here and you put it in and something shifts or a pan drops, it can't go higher than the face frame, so when you pull it out, it's not going to catch that edge and do any damage. So solid dust bottoms all the way through everywhere. Makes it for a heavy box, but definitely worthwhile. And solid 3/4 inch top, sides, all 5 sides, all 3/4 inch pre-finished walnut. So here's our cutter stack. And same job. This is actually that curved stringer we have in the bag here. So I think that is number 2 of 4 that they're making here in the shop. But like I said, I was here early. I wanted to give you guys a poke around, show you what's going on in this kitchen, and share a couple of the details. Actually, you know what? This is the other one I wanted to talk about. Our face frames. Anytime we do a return, this is gonna probably go against some sort of appliance. This is how we're achieving our return. So when you're looking at it here, it's a cabinet. We don't want that face frame to just stop. We do a return piece on it, so it gets a nice return back. So when you open the oven, you're not seeing anything. This looks like it's actually gonna be possibly for the island. So this is where you sit, and this wraps around. This would be your leg, and then you're going to have a big panel going this way. So we have the panel kind of where your knees would be when you're sitting down. Same thing here. These are upper cabinets. Everything gets mitered. Inch and a half, panel on either end, 2 doors in the middle, and then square bead detail. And we're actually doing that on our shaper, not on the table saw, like a few of you guys have asked. Here's the other side of the island. You can see, big panel there. So we'll build this as a door and then adhere it like a panel, so you still have the same, 3/32 gap all the way around that door. And then check this out. This is going to be a trash receptacle. So we're going to build it with a drawer and a door, but it's actually going to be all one piece. And when it's closed, it'll have that bead detail just like the adjacent drawer does, but this will all be one panel. I hope that makes sense. And basically you assemble it, and then we cut that middle rail out. Well, we make it look like it was cut out, So when it's closed, you just have that 3/32 gap all the way. But standing back, it looks like this rail runs continuous through. Wish I had that door so I could show you, but I believe those ones went off to finish. And then same thing here. This is the dishwasher. So same thing, that rail is going to continue through the dishwasher panel. But we want to make sure that that's how that detail ends up. And then you can see we do a full painted return. We could end that face frame right there, but when you open the dishwasher, we don't want to just see the butt end of a face frame. It's better if we paint that, return it way back, and give it a nice finish. And we'll actually be doing a furniture base or a flush base in here, and we'll have some raised toe kicks for the working areas. But that furniture base or applied base will actually run across the dishwasher. And if you guys haven't seen us do that before, we'll show you how we achieve that, because oftentimes, you know, you'll see a furniture base style, but they'll stop it at the dishwasher because the door has to drop down. A little tip: next time you drop your dishwasher door down, take a look. You can that door actually lands pretty high up, and if you plan it out right, you can actually run that base straight across. You just need to make sure it's removable, and that's exactly what we've done here. Is that all of this baseboard will be removable through a handful of screws that will be in the bottom of the cabinet. But we'll dig into that in a future episode. If you guys like these site walks, or in today's case, shop walk, make sure you follow along, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.